Hey digital artists! In this video, we are going to go over the directions for the Jeff Koons Balloon Animal art project. So the art history connection is the contemporary artist Jeff Koons, and he's known for creating art with popular culture images, and some of his most famous artworks are sculptures that are made out of heavy, shiny, reflective steel metal that looks like balloon animals. Some of them are really large, like this first one. Here he is standing in front of it, and it's taller than he is. This other one is a little bit smaller. It's still a big sculpture, but it's smaller and it's up on a pedestal. So it's time to plan for our project. Where are you going to install your sculpture? Sculptures can be in locations that are indoors or outdoors. They could be at a landmark, they could be in a museum, or anywhere that you could imagine. We're going to use a picture for the background for our balloon animal. Then we need to create our balloon animal. So I'm going to show you how to create a balloon animal body of a dog using the oval shape. And then you're going to add custom color gradients to your balloon animal body so that it looks round and reflective and shiny. So we are going to use the oval shape. So I'm going to click Shape, Shapes, Oval, right here. And when I click it, my mouse changes into a crosshair. I'm going to draw an oval shape for the body. If I make my picture too big, that's okay because I can always resize it after I group everything together, and then I can resize it that way. So I'm going to start off with just one oval shape. And what I can do with this oval shape is duplicate it. So on my keyboard, I'll press Control D. Then I can rotate it by clicking the blue dot because I need to create the other parts of the balloon dog's body. So I'll make his leg. I'll make two front legs. But something's happening. One leg is in front of the other. If I want to send this leg to the back, I can use Arrange, Order, Send Backward, or Send to Back. And I can use the keyboard shortcuts, Control down arrow key or Control Shift down arrow key to send it all the way to the back. So I'm going to use Control Shift down arrow key, and now that leg is in the back. And then I can rotate it so that it gets a little bit closer together. If I need to adjust it, that's how I can adjust it. Then I can just choose one of them, make sure it's selected, and Control D to duplicate. Then I can make two more legs. So to finish up my balloon animal body, I am going to just finish up the legs, moving them into place. And then I'm going to make the neck and head. So I'm going to just make sure one of these is selected and duplicate it. By duplicating it, it makes it a little bit faster for me to get all of the shapes where I need them. That way I don't have to go to the Shapes toolbar and grab the shape from there. I can just duplicate the shapes that I already have. So I'll make my oval for my neck, duplicate it, rotate it, then I have an oval for my face and my nose. Then I'll duplicate it and I'll make an ear. Maybe make that ear a little bit smaller. Duplicate it, make the other ear, and I need to send this one to the back, so Control Shift down arrow key puts it behind the head. So I can always click on some of these shapes and adjust them as I go. Then I'll work on the tail. And the tail is made of two parts. It has like that extra part of balloon that's not too inflated, and that goes behind it. Control Shift down arrow key. Once I've got most of these shapes where they need to go, then I can just adjust them a little bit. Like that. The last thing that I need to add is the knot for the nose. So that is a lot smaller, so I'm going to duplicate that one, shrink it down, and put it at the tip of the nose. Then I'm going to make one more, duplicate it, and make it a little bit larger, because if there was a knot, the knot would be behind and a little bit smaller. And then the extra piece of balloon would be sticking forward. So here's my balloon animal body. Now, if you want to make any, quick changes, you can do that. I'm going to move my sample up over here so he's out of the way. Now that we made our balloon dog body, we need to add color. And we're going to use custom color gradients to add value and shading to make the surface appear three-dimensional and reflective. So we're going to use the fill color and the gradient custom color tool. So what I'm going to do is, just to start, I'm going to select everything by clicking and dragging. Everything is selected. Then I'm going to come to the Fill Color tool. Then I'll choose Gradient and Custom. I already have some custom colors here, so we're going to make a new custom color. Instead of making a purple balloon dog, we'll make a different colored balloon dog. We're going to change the type to radial, and you want to choose the direction of the light source, which way the light is coming from to make the shadows and highlights. So I'm going to choose either center, top left, or top right. After I make this first gradient, I'll go back and I'll adjust certain pieces to make the gradient seem more realistic. Then I'm going to add some stops. There's already 2 stops, one at the front and one at the back. I'm going to add 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to spread them out evenly. Then what I want to do is I want to choose my gradient colors. So I made a purple one, but maybe I want to make a red balloon. So I'm going to use these red values in the vertical column. The column goes up and down. I'm going to choose the values that go from light to dark. So I'll start with light red 3. Then I can switch to light red 2. Then I can switch again. Light red 1. Dark red 1. And then I will use the darkest value. And one thing that you might notice if you look at rounded shapes or chiaroscuro drawing is that if you click add stop and we move one over here like this, sometimes when you're looking at a shadow, there is a reflected shadow where it's kind of like a little highlight at the end. So you might want to go back in and play with these shadows a little bit more to have a reflected light in your shadow. Then you can really play with the placement of these different values to create your highlight and your shadows. So I'm going to click OK. Now everything has a shading. All of these have value and shading. To make it look more realistic, I'm going to make the border color transparent. Now when I'm looking at some of these highlights don't look like they're in the right spot. Why would the highlight on the legs be coming from the ground? We need to fix that. So I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard and click, click, click the legs. Then, because I already have a color on them, when I come over to the gradient, it's already selected on one, so I'm going to click plus, and I'm going to change the gradient that's here. I can choose a different direction. What if we try from the top left? For me, that looks the most realistic. But one thing that you can also do is you can press Shift, click, click on the 2 front legs, and then you can choose one more gradient and make it from the center. That way, it kind of is coming the highlight right at you, and then the shading is all around. If that doesn't look right for you, you can always go back in and choose a different gradient. So whatever you would like to do, you can always go back and play with some of these gradients to make the shading look more realistic. Maybe some areas of the body, when they have the highlight and the shading, might want to go in a different direction. So you can play with the choices that you have in the custom color gradients to affect how it's going to look on your balloon animal dog. Once your balloon animal is ready to go and all of the shading is completed, you're going to select everything. So I'm on the select tool, the mouse. I'm going to click and drag a box around my balloon animal. Then I'm going to go to Arrange, Group, and it's Control Option G. On your Chromebook, it might look a little bit different. This is what it looks like on my computer for my keyboard shortcut for group. Now everything's stuck together, and when I grab my balloon dog to move it, everything moves together. If I need to shrink it down or stretch it out, I can press Shift and click on the corner to shrink them down. Now it's time to find a background. You can use Insert Image, search the web to find a location to place your image. Once you have your image, you can stretch it or resize it to fill up the canvas, and then you can send it to the back so that your balloon dog is on top, or you can click on your balloon dog and click Arrange, Order, Bring to Front, or a different option, Control Shift Up arrow key to move your image to the front. So now it's time to find that image where we planned, where we wanted to put our picture. So I'm going to go Insert Image, search the web, and I'm going to search for a place. It could be empty museum. Maybe we want to put our artwork in an empty museum. I can stretch my image to fit like that. And then I can use Control-Shift-Up arrow key to bring my balloon dog to the front. And if I want to make my balloon dog very large, I can stretch it out. Your balloon dog doesn't have to be in a museum, so you can use Insert, Image, Search the Web, and maybe you want to bring it to Central Park. You can find an image and insert it and put our balloon dog there. So remember, we saw pictures of that balloon dog over here where it was really big, and compared to the people, this looks like it could be right. So once you've found the right image for your picture, you want to make sure that you stretch it so that it fits the entire canvas. No checkerboard space. Then you can save your work and write your artist statement in the Google Classroom. All right, now it's time to sign your name with Insert Word Art. So I'm going to come over to Insert, Word Art, and I'm going to type in my name and the year. You can use your nickname, full name, just your last name, up to you. But once I get my word art, I need to change my font, the color, the border color, or the border weight. So I'm going to choose a font that I like. Then I'm going to choose a fill color, and I know I'm going to put it on the ground and I want it to blend, so I'm going to choose the green. I'm going to make the border transparent, and if you want, you could try making the font bold or italic. And then, because it's word art, it's like a picture, you can resize the text to fit in the area that you want on your project. You can use the arrow keys to move it around if you need to. And then the last thing you need to do is write your artist statement.